Welcome back to another episode of the Cause and Effect podcast. I'm your host, Chico, accompanied by my co-host, my guys, Ralphie,
Fernando.
And we got to jump on the building.
Yo soy importante, loco. Yo soy número uno. Por eso
yeah, I
que
was going like this.
Arriba.
Left to right, right to
So
left.
good, man.
Everybody knows who you guys are,
I'm
man.
number one, that's it. Hey.
Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to all the people tuning in every single week. We appreciate you guys. We want to, first off, start off the episode. Not always going to be on a high note, but rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
Word.
You know, like, it's a tragic moment for just the hip-hop in general, man. Like, 20 years old, the story, you know, is still developing, so we're not going to go deep into what happened because we're all still in the dark on what happened. There was two different versions, and more of it will be revealed. We want to send our condolences to the people mourning, the people, you know, hurt, and what can I say, man? Like, it's been a wild 2020 to start off. Like, it's just like, you know what it is? It's like you don't know these people, you know, from a hole in the wall. But just seeing them and seeing them grow, some being legends already, some, you know, just building kind of like a connection with you, like Nipsey media, and all that. Like, it's so wild to see just some, like, I'm scared of sometimes just scrolling on Instagram and seeing somebody's picture. Because it's like, the first thing I look is the caption and I'm like, oh. Word. Especially somebody like I rock with, like, yo, why is this person posting this person's picture? Like, every time I see, like, another celebrity posting a picture of somebody, I'm already, like, heart drops. Like, oh, shit, what happened now? Yeah. You know, so our condolences, you know, we
It's crazy that that's something that the first thing that comes to mind is that, like, did he die? Like, it's
yeah, like,
there's so many
100%. Like, you know what's funny? That it's pretty much every single celebrity that I've seen that, you know, has transitioned to the next life, it's Meek Mill that I always see on my timeline. So, like, posting them. So every time I see Meek Mill posting another person, I'm just like, oh, what happened? It's crazy, man. Like, it's a major loss again. I enjoyed his music. I enjoyed
I caught on to it late, honestly.
Yeah, like I
got onto it late.
I remember hearing it and I said, yo, this is crazy. Like, I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then I said, yo, but this is kind of like
you put me up on it.
Yeah,
you put us all up on it.
I was like, yo, this dude is gonna do something with this. And I just found it unique, and you can already see how his influence has already spread in other people's music.
Of course,
like that you could see where he was going with it, and it was gonna be like next level, you know. And unfortunately, you know, right now he's charting up in the charts. His music is being played everywhere. Everybody that didn't even know about him is knowing about him. You know, it is what it is.
Like, when you pass away, that's what happens.
Dead rappers
get
better promotion.
Wasn't all that crazy until he passed away.
Dead
Zach Bundles.
And it's crazy because we talking about, I mean, those guys passed away a few years ago and whatnot, and now recently we lost like one after another pretty much. But it's like, in the 90s, only Tupac and Biggie passed away on the night, and
in the early 2000s is crazy. But Pun was natural.
Natural
causes,
yeah,
right?
natural causes. Yeah. But when it comes to Biggie and Tupac, that was the main thing that pretty much shifted everybody. And
like, you can actually become a target in hip hop.
I think social media has a lot to do with it, man.
I feel like it does too in many cases.
Now, now in today's era,
and we're gonna get into that. But before anything, how you guys feeling? How you guys doing?
I'm feeling great.
Running way back. But I'm also, man, I'm great, man. I'm blessed. I'm grateful to be here. Yeah.
It's important. It's important. You know why? Because you always want to check on your friend's mental health. You always want to make sure everybody's good. Everybody's in a good space. Everybody's in a good place.
Estes passed out.
Estes on the couch over there chilling. You know. But it's important. You know, always to check up on your strong friends, on your friends that you know be going through it. Just ask them how they really doing. Yeah, your happy friends as well.
Check on those, man.
The ones that always got a smile on.
The happy ones be really sad deep inside, man. For real.
Yeah. And I say that,
Talk about me? Yeah, I'll be sad. I let them know though. Like when I get down and out, I'll either sometimes I isolate. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I stay to myself. I go in the room and I just don't want to talk to nobody. But for the most part, I reach out. Cause I don't like to be in that
You gotta
hole,
talk, man. I feel like when you
like being in that hole. That hole is dangerous.
We're gonna have to keep you out of that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're gonna work on that, man. We're gonna work on that. But
I'm getting better.
No, we're here to help.
We're
gonna help you more. We're gonna help you more. I feel like we haven't been helping you as much as we actually should. You feel me? I mean, I hear you opening up more and everything like that. Like right now that you're talking, I'm catching on to like sometimes you say certain things, you know what I mean, uplifting things, and I get where you're coming from because you're trying to uplift yourself, not only us, but yourself. At the same time, it's like that means you're like you might be somewhere. Not necessarily that you have to be. Just because you're talking positive doesn't mean that you are in a dark place. But sometimes when you talk that way, it means that you are somewhere right now that you need to hear that yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I'm gonna make sure that next time I hear you talk, I'm gonna keep up with you more, bro. I feel like I need to do that more. I mean, we do it, but I feel like we could do more. You feel me? So
a lot of times, sometimes when we give advice or we go out and speak, a lot of the time it's for ourselves to hear ourselves and believe in it as well. You know,
I'm over here talking about you, but myself, man. I've been about myself sometimes, and it's just like I gotta snap myself out of it sometimes, or come around you guys and remind myself of what really matters.
Facts. You know, I wanted to keep on with Pop Smoke, but before we get into that, because that's gonna lead to a whole different conversation, I wanted to touch up. You guys have seen that post on that kid that
the bully
that got bullied.
How did I even talking about that?
I heard that it was a
the midget.
You know, and this is why, I love the fact that you said that. I love that you say that. You know, this is what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to go on a small rant about reacting. I feel like people gotta relax when they see something that's touching. I get it. You wanna react right away to it. But it happened before with the other kid that was supposedly being bullied, and him and his mother recorded it, and then they found pictures of them supporting racist parties, being a part of and they raised mad money on GoFundMe. My thing is this. I get it, bro. Like I've been in some cases the bully. I've been bullied. Like it's been both sides for me. I understand that, and I see the kid, and you're like, yo, you can tell, like it's a hard life for him. I get people want to go right away and start championing something and go behind a movement or something, but you gotta stick around for a little bit and wait till the story develops. Like we're so quick to just see a post about something and say that's true. Yo, you saw this and post it. Like when Pop Smoke's report came out, I posted and then I deleted it because for a second I said, "Yo, what if this is not real?"
I didn't believe it right away.
No, but
the first news I heard, I'm like, no, I gotta go more. I need more.
I went on Google.
I googled
but
it.
Listen, I went on Google too, and guess what? Twice the blogs took it down. Because I looked at it, I refreshed the page, and all it said was something that happened last week. It looked like his story had been moved. And I said, yo, people might not even be sure that this is true.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, let's relax.
Yeah.
Because we're so quick to react. Like, the moment something said, yo, this person's being bullied, or this is what's happening. Like, the little kid, I get it. He has challenges physically, probably, some mental and whatnot.
What was the money raised for?
To take him to Disneyland.
$30K, I think, right?
No, bro, they raised $300,000. How much money do you need to go to Disneyland for?
Bro,
you might as well buy a fraction of it with that.
How much money you need for this?
Because if that's that much, I'm never going to Disneyland. Like,
he better take all his supporters
why people
with him.
don't feel bad for kids that's starving in Africa and making GoFundMe and feed the children?
No,
you know what I mean? Like, those causes sometimes bother me. The reaction
those
things
bother me. You know how many kids are like that and getting bullied on a regular basis? You know how many kids are getting like,
all right,
are going.
Let's how about this? Instead of giving just one kid
on social media, they give it to that.
But now instead of just giving it to one kid, how about y'all start a campaign and put that money behind a campaign that's actually gonna help many people,
millions of kids,
bro. Like what a Big Brother program or something.
You know what it is? People
those 300Ks would have been great for.
But the problem is. The problem is
who
will run
that program. Something
300K could have done so much.
The problem is who will run the campaign because people ain't trusted.
But then this is the problem, bro. All these celebrities get behind him. Like this kid got pictures with a bunch of people that have influence on Instagram. They go over there and take a picture with the kid. It becomes like a hot topic, and that's what I'm saying. It just becomes like this hot thing for a moment, and everybody wants to get on the case. Everybody's reposting it. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's putting a report on it. Let's have them on the show. Like if you don't look at the background, like. The first thing that comes to my mind, right? I'm sorry. I don't want to be the person that's pessimist. But the first thing when I see shit like that, I say, wait, if it's my kid being bullied and he's crying and he wants to die, I'm not recording this. First of all, like, I'm gonna get emotional. I'm not even gonna speak. Like, that's my train of thought, right? But everybody changed everything different. Everybody's different. But I felt like she took a moment to like think about it and say, record it. Yeah. And that's when I'm like, okay, let's say in my head it's staged. I'm sorry. First thing that comes to my mind, this looks staged.
I thought it was fake.
You know,
from the beginning, from the moment I saw the video, it just didn't look genuine.
I just saw the kid go like, look up at the camera, and I was just like,
it looked fake. God forgive me, but it looked fake.
You know, and then I'm not gonna judge people by their past posts, but like, there was a post of him like posting a middle finger up, like with playing with money, talking about, yo, you know what we doing, and I'm like, yo, that's him. That's actually him. Now let me tell you something.
Who took the time to find that kid?
Bro, people do their research. People start, you know, there's some people that are going to be skeptical and be like, nah, this kid can't be all what they, because this is the thing, right? From my experience, I've met and I've had friends. I've had a neighbor with that same situation, right?
Midget?
I'm not sure if that's, wait, hold on. Don't react to that. I'm not sure if that's offensive for the community, but yeah.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at how he said it.
If it is,
no, because
it's not.
I get it. It's innocent. I'm just saying, if it is a problem, then just that's a little worse. All right, first, but hey, look, listen,
jump out.
Listen,
it's a joke, man. It's a joke.
Jump out.
Listen. What I'm trying to get at is this: that kid, he was the most trouble. He was the most sneakiest one out of the entire group. He was the illest when it came to playing people and just like being a real like bully. I kicked him out of my house one day and I told him, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? I didn't feel bad because I knew his personality.
Yeah, you know
but if somebody saw, everybody in the room felt bad for him because he walked off and he played it off like he was sad. Put his head down, walked like, yo, for real, you kicked me out. And I was like, yeah, get out. You play too much. Like, you're crazy. Yeah. My point with that is that
you handicapped
behind
him.
the camera.
You handicapped him though when you freaking treat him like.
No.
God,
what I'm saying is that the perception is, if somebody would have been walking in the room at that moment, they wouldn't have known what he was doing. They would have just looked at him getting kicked out and said, "Damn, bro, like why you treat him like that?" And then I'm the bad guy. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, that moment captured on camera can't get you to the point where you're raising $300,000 for something and you don't know what they're gonna do with that money. Like, let's be like, it just baffles me, like how people get behind a movement and they don't even do, like, this shit got hot in minutes. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, give it some time.
I have a lot of moments that I would have put in camera. I would have called $300K.
It's like the stripper that fell and got some money.
Somebody said, there was a meme of the stripper falling, and then there was a meme like seeing the stripper fall. She gets $300K, and then you see the other person. You see a meme like somebody throwing themselves off the stairs. I'm like, yeah, like there's people that literally looking at this and saying, yo, all I gotta do is record a video that looks sad, and people might donate. Like, there was this kid that was like, this was funny though. He was like, my girl left to Miami for spring break. I need and he put up a GoFundMe so people can help him get to Miami to find her. And dog, he raised like $5K.
I bet. Say no more.
People wanted him to go.
Boy, find that. Yo, record that.
Yo, FundMe's gonna be my new job.
Yo. I need all that. Go fund me.
Gonna be my new job.
I'm a struggling rapper. Go fund me. I'm sad.
I'm stressed out.
You know what I mean? Like it just irritates me because
I'm about to make that a profession.
And I want to connect that to the conversation that we had for the Sunday BYOB episode. What he said?
I'm gonna really make that a profession.
A profession.
But that's to me. He's a con artist, man. They're con artists.
Hey, they respect the hustle.
People take advantage of their. I'm not gonna call them. They say disability, but.
Yeah, whatever the situation is.
Because I had a person that I knew, right? He was in a wheelchair. Once he figured out that people were doing stuff for him, he was just like,
"Nah, it's
I'm chilling." You know what I'm saying? So he got used to that. Oh, he wasn't going to therapy. Everything was like, "Nah, take me here." And I'm like, "Oh, like, stay in your house, bro." Like, I gotta carry you up and down, like, and then he kind of saw that people were feeling bad, and he took advantage of that. So it's like, people kind of take advantage of their own.
They milk it.
They milk the game.
And they play the victim. They feel comfortable playing the victim.
Yeah, but that's why I wanted to connect it to what we spoke about for our Sunday BYB. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It'll probably be out by this time. By the time you're watching this and hearing this. But when I talked about like emotionally drained, I feel like in my head I have moments where I just react to everything, and I'm just like, for example, climate change. Like every time I see posts about that, I get irritated because I'm like, yo, what are we gonna do? And then I see a post of all the animals becoming extinct, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? What can we do? Then like in my head, I start getting I react to things. Like I might not just post about it, but in my head, I'm going crazy. So I feel like
that's funny. Like, oh,
that's
yeah,
me. Yo, like me 100%.
Jeff Bezos donating $10 billion to help climate change. This and the third. I'm like, dog, that's fire. What else can we do? $10 billion.
Who?
Jeff Bezos, Amazon owner.
Oh, I thought you said Jay Peso. I said, damn,
No,
Jay
no,
Peso
no.
got $10 million to give?
$10 billion.
10 billion, like with a B.
Yes. Dog,
he's the number one, if not the second richest man in the world.
10 big ones.
They made a post, and I don't know how accurate this post is, but they said that he can make $7,000 a second or a day.
Not a day.
From now to the day Jesus Christ was born, and it still wouldn't account for how much money he has.
Yo, and he don't pay taxes.
Nope.
Barely.
So, but before,
Wait.
no, we're not getting into Jeff Bezos. But listen,
Yeah, we're not going there.
it's
I
just
want to know why he don't pay taxes.
what
He. That's a whole different
That's a whole
loophole,
conversation.
bro. It's like
he has a monopoly. He figured it out.
Yeah, he knows
There's
how to
loopholes
work
to
that.
not pay taxes. He found it.
Coño.
Yes, sir.
And that's something that you could just research and it can help you out, because if you have a business or you can create, there's things that you can do to do the same thing he did.
not exactly, but close enough. Because that ninja's.
He's
okay,
crazy.
let's go. Keep going.
But what I'm saying is that just reacting to everything you see can literally like fuck you up. And I looked at that post when everybody would say, "Yo, you saw the kid that was building?" I was like, let me see it later on, because in my head I'm like, I want to hear the story. And I just feel like if you heard it today, give me 2 days and I'll go and listen and find out what's going on. And it's just that it's not that I don't care. I just feel like we are too quick to want to go on our phones and repost, reshare, and we don't give any facts to it. Like, how about we talk about what's going on in the Dominican Republic right now? We're all Dominican here, right?
Yeah.
As American citizens, we don't have to endure what they're enduring over there, right? Now
we have our own level of shit.
Yeah, we endure a different, but compared to that, bro, we have more luxury, let's say,
we
right?
We really do.
We live in poverty.
So I wanna inform the listeners a little bit of what's going on, because me personally, I'm still getting a better understanding. We don't live over there. We don't know the actual facts of everything, but somebody posted something really dope that kind of summed up everything. I shared it on my story on Instagram, but it's a post, and it says, "What's happening in Dominican Republic? February 16, 2020, municipal election day. To elect all local government officials, they created a fancy new electronic voting system that was implemented with a whopping cost of $19 million US, which comes from the national budget. But when the machines presented technical difficulties, which resulted in suspended elections. First time in the country's history. So everybody closed jobs, people lost money, a lot of things were stopped because you're not allowed to do anything on election days but go vote, right? February 17, 2020, nobody is providing answers as to what caused the glitch. General assumption, intentional sabotage. There's different parties, right? You know how Democrats and Republicans, over there they have like 4 or 5 different parties of politics. You have the PLM now, PRM, PLD, and et cetera, right? So what people don't tend to understand is that there's a lot of bias around that, because everybody pulls to whoever funds them with money. I'm going to vote for whoever's offering the best. Like, my vote has a price. Exactly. That's one of the things that
corruption.
That's corruption. That's one of the things that's happening over there. That's been happening for many, many years. Now, hundreds gather for a peaceful protest. I was about to say prostate.
I was gonna say, all right.
Prostitute. Gather for a peaceful protest outside the Central Electoral Board dozens the night before. Now they have a new voting date. Now, to get a little understanding about that, you're supposed to give it 30 days. You're supposed to give like this thing like time to develop answers, give people, the real what's going on, and prep for it. Because if you have a glitch and you're going to vote and this glitch happens out of nowhere, now people are confused. Whatever was going to happen on that machine, they stopped it. Who knows if they reset something to do something scamming with the votes and stuff like that, and then they give you a date right after the 15th. Okay, we changed it for the 15th. This is the day that this is actually going to work. What? Right? So everybody's like, yo, this is too much. So people start going, and they do a peaceful protest. They go out there. They don't start breaking stuff. They don't do anything. There are no riots. They're with signs, banners. They're voicing their opinions. They just want answers, right?
There's a lot of youth.
The majority is
this
youth.
Probably nobody over 30
Absolutely.
there.
You know what I mean? Like February 18th, still no answers, still no consequences. Thousands now gather at the peaceful protest. Nonetheless, somebody decides to throw tear gas bombs at them. So
even though it was peaceful,
they're not doing anything.
It was one of the
generals out there.
No,
or chiefs or something like that.
No, it's just one of the police, one of those guards.
But he's one of the top guys. I heard his name, and they said that big bosses fear him because he has a lot of powerful people in the government that back him up. So he has like authority over some that are supposed to have authority over him, which is crazy, right? But that's again the system that they have to endure. Now, again, government says it wasn't them. That wasn't them that threw the tear bomb, but they actually have proof. And adding more unanswered questions, February 19th, a multitude joins the protest in multiple cities across the country. So now you got all the major cities doing this. It's amazing, like how united. This is gonna go down in history.
Yeah.
This is going to go down in history, man. Like, February 20th, peaceful protests are set to continue with planned manifestations happening all around the country. Not everybody's reporting about it. New York, Miami, Puerto Rico, London, UK, Toronto. We have Dominicans and people that love Dominican Republic all around the world. And now they're voicing their opinion. Influencers, celebrities. Everybody's just at arms. There's many celebrities
Not that many
out there.
celebrities.
No. Listen, I have... The people,
at least not that many actual Dominican celebrities.
How about baseball players?
Nah,
Any baseball
because
players?
that's what's going on is there's not a lot of like, for example, Mo Para won't do it. Why?
He did.
He's
not out there. He spoke about it.
Mo Para like this with the president. Why would he do it?
No. He spoke about it on his Instagram account.
What he said?
You're going to make me try to repeat exactly what he said. He posted about everything, bro. Him, you got El Lapis, you got Arcangel. Arcangel is not just Puerto Rican. He's Dominican as well. You have Omega is out in the actual protest. What did Lapis say? Bro, you're asking questions that I cannot answer.
He didn't say anything.
Yes,
El Lapis was
bro.
making
There's
fun of that shit.
No. There's posts, bro. But again, I'll go back to all the stuff. But there's many people outside of them that are social media influencers, radio station. All these different people are speaking about it, whether they have an outlet from, online or going physically to the protest. One of the ones that have been starting and has been consistent with it is a very, very dope female rapper from Dominican Republic, Melly Mel. She's amazing. And she's been going hard, super hard for the country, man. She's doing some great things, and she's like part of the people that's leading the protest in Santo Domingo. Now, investigations and clear answers as to what went wrong, still nothing. Sanctions, consequences for those responsible, still nothing. And electoral transparency, still nothing. So everybody just wants those people in charge of the electoral campaigns out. They're like, yo, you guys.
It's the PLD that's controlling. They've been controlling for
the people, the president's
party.
party.
Stealing all the money, man. They're corrupting the country. They bring in.
But
okay. They've been doing that for a minute, but now it's like more
pockets are getting full.
Yes,
where people start.
Bro, there's people from salaries that aren't supposed to be like in the millions that are making millions salaries. People that are just treasury doing things that are supposed to be for the city. pocketing that money. But now this is the topic.
That's happening
where
in small towns too, though. That's the thing.
No,
There's corruption
that's the main
everywhere
places where you're
that's
saying
the main,
that.
Yeah.
Now this is the cherry on the cake. People were getting a sense that it was heading towards a dictatorship.
Like Trujillo days.
Yes. So because that's what people were. No, yeah, he didn't want to go.
You don't want to go.
There was cheating going on, and then they were doing monopoly with who they choose and who they allow to get in certain areas. And not only that, but
trying to set that up. Just in case they take them out, they have people already lined up.
Bro, let me tell you something. One of the ex-presidents was ahead of the race in the campaign to the actual president right now, and all of a sudden, from one day to another, he beat him. The actual president took him out. That's when the political party divided, and it's just been war with each other. Now, there is reports from people saying that they went to vote, and on the computers, they only had government officials from the PLD, from the president's, the actual president right now. So you can only vote for them.
You couldn't vote for who you want to vote for.
Exactly. So that's where people started going, what's going on? And then all of a sudden there's a glitch. And all of a sudden we can't vote. And this is never happening before. We got to figure it out. They're trying to accuse some dude from Claro that works in a technical, in a communication, in the communication field over there. That he had something to do with the setup of what was going on.
He was according to what I heard, he was warning people, basically telling them that como que a él lo obligaron a hacer eso.
That he was like yeah.
They forced him to do that. And then when they took him in, they took him in for questioning.
And they beat his ass.
And they beat his ass up.
They beat his
They
ass.
beat him in the ankle. They beat him in the ribs. And then they were asking him, like, yo, like, but who did that to you? Like, who were these officers? Like, say who it was. And he don't want to speak.
He'll die.
So he's basically what they call like a whistleblower. So like he might have to say something so they can transfer his ass over here or something because they're gonna end up killing him.
Yeah,
he's probably gonna disappear.
Bro, this is like a movie out there right now. You feel me?
Over there are totally different.
Yeah, they'll kill you and nobody will find out who killed you.
It's really reckless.
Yeah.
So I want as a I lived in Dominican Republic for 5 years. I love Dominican Republic. I love my Dominicans. I want to salute you. All the people out there going into action, speaking up, because this has never been seen before. This is something that's been boiling up. People have been saying that this is just, it's about time that something like this happens because they have to create change. Now, the only thing is that the youth, they have to want to continue on the fight because the fight, once they get what they want, has to continue on to kids, either running and trying to make a change, bring new energy into the governments, taking all these old heads that been in there for years, decades. Like there's so many. They had the whole rigged system.
And
they gotta start taking it apart
because
which
they're
is
corrupted.
super hard.
It is. It's gonna take years. It's gonna take decades to get rid of all those people and to actually make it more structured. Because right now it's a mess, bro. Like I know. Little quick side story. I know. One of my mother's. She's like her sister because that's her ex-husband's sister. Gotcha. So it's like they kind of like related. They get along, whatever. But she wanted to be a teacher. And she was a teacher for a while, but she wanted to move up. And the only way for her to move up, long story short, is if like she either slept with one of the guys.
That's very common out there.
So messed up, but it's like wow, that's really going on to this day.
No,
like,
it's and not just in the Dominican Republic. There's in every third world country you can think of.
Yeah, and it's like so corrupted. The school system. That's the school system. Mm-hmm. In one little freaking pueblo, in one little neighborhood. So imagine what's going on around the whole country and different areas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's gonna take a long time for you to get at least cleanse it out as much as you can. When it comes to corruption, creating new laws. I feel like the yard needs new laws. And new
just like the United States, everything, bro. And the thing is that you gotta look at it like this: the police departments are very complicated over there because again. Within the police departments, they're all corrupted, but I'm not going to say all, but I'm going to say majority because they need to be because they are only funded by so much. Yeah. So they got to draw to a political party to help them live and have some type of, future.
The pay
they don't get paid
there,
enough. They don't get paid enough.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
But I feel like if maybe if their pay rates get a little bit higher, they might change.
It's just very hard, bro. The system there's just so many loopholes and so many things.
Think
like
about how many years of corruption. You know what I mean?
And again,
it's gonna take a long time.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, nothing changes. Because the thing is that
something
you could
new
raise
happens.
you could raise somebody's pay, and they're like, oh, we're gonna raise your pay, but you gotta add more this and this and that, and nobody work for some time. And they'll forget about it, and everybody's gonna forget about it. And where the pay goes,
but then they go try to follow the law, and then you got people. Dominicans are very rebusero, as to say, like when you get pulled over by a cop, like you want to fight the cop because you don't respect them as so there's just a lot of things that has to happen from both sides, but just on what's going on currently right now, I pray that it stays peaceful.
Amen.
And that there's some change and some results to this because
I like how
the people need it. The people need it out there, man. We need it.
Yeah. Actually surprised of who's like all these young people actually out there taking charge.
That's
because
it's their future. Yeah, like
we're done up. It's like grown people. They're kind of like, all right, I'm already old, whatever.
Yeah,
it is
but
what it is.
Think about it. They could have done that from their phone, but they didn't. They went there personally and peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
So those are
big,
two impacts.
Messages.
They could have done this through Facebook.
That's big. Bro.
But that's again, over there the system doesn't work the same. Like social media presence over there doesn't have so much influence
like it does
as
here.
much like here.
Like it does at all.
Yeah. Because the thing is that over there it won't affect people's money like over here. Like businesses lose money when things are like that being spread. So they need to clean up.
Over there, they're more in touch too. Like. It's not the same as over here.
Yeah.
They gotta do clean houses, get everybody invited and get a whole.
That's what they're hoping. But again, it's not just easy to do that because then you got the people that are supposed to be supplements to the people that are not able to do their job. They have substitutes. So, all these people are all assigned. So you got to go, you got to go deep in root and start finding, what can we do? And start unplugging these people that are connected to so much power. And I think that one of the things that need to be done is that anybody in those electoral institutes, they can have no affiliation with any political party. They have to be completely neutral because the thing is that they're not neutral. They all have agendas with a political party.
You know what got me got me thinking, but it's like there was this guy, I don't know who he was, but I saw a video of this guy saying, we knew what was going on. We knew how many votes we were getting. We knew that we were winning, this and this and that. But my question is, how do you know if it's not supposed to be like that? No one is supposed to know.
Somebody's saying something.
So it's like, you put these new machines and you put something that you can see. So basically, you're gonna see when you're losing. You're gonna be forcing people to like, y'all need to
reprogram it. Right? Okay, if I'm losing, I can.
My man's like that shit is all corrupted.
What's the name of the? This is something. I think it's collusion, right? I could be wrong, but when people are being like, there was somebody that got caught on camera, bro, with a bag of money, giving people money. Here, go vote for me. Go vote for me. Go vote. Like literally here, buying mad vote. That is illegal. And they caught that on camera by somebody. Imagine all the people that do that. There's so many people that I know that got promised a sueldo, a monthly pay, if they helped get enough votes to get, let's say, jump out to be the next mayor, the next person in charge of the city.
That happens all the time.
Craziness,
Selling dreams.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is just like, I don't know, like, I just feel like we're so scared of the government most of the time. And we forget that the government works for us. Mm-hmm. The police work for us. We give them too much power, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're
all around the world.
They're one person to represent a bunch.
Yeah.
And just because, a lot of them come from poverty and they come from, basically knowing nobody powerful, they feel like they don't have a voice to say, look, this is wrong. This is not what we voted for. Like, this is not what, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a perfect example of people not wanting to think, though, because they give, like, the responsibility to the government. Like, you think for me. Why are you not doing this? Why you not doing that? But it's like, yo, you gotta be educated a little bit.
Because they just want to sit back and just let things work for them. They gotta work. They gotta bring something to the table.
They gotta know what the heck is going on at least. You know?
I think that right now people are waking up.
Yeah.
If you guys, the listeners, the people that this is new information for you, you can hashtag Sevan, SEVAN, on Instagram, and you're gonna see a thread of all the reports, all the people blogging about it, the people that are actually out there, the people that are actually a part of what's going on physically, and you'll get more information. Don't just react about what we're talking about. Go on and get information upon what's going on. And if you have some type of influence or something that you feel can help bring more awareness about it, go out and do it. We're using our platform right now to bring awareness to the people that are tuning in, and we hope you guys use whatever platforms or just plugs you have to do the same, and not just this, or any cause that you truly believe in and you want to get people informed on. Now, returning back to a little bit of what we were talking about earlier with Pot Smoke and everything, man, like, not trying to get in, I'm gonna try hard not to get into a sad, low mode, but just to fast forward what happened, it's like what you said, like, there's power in what you put into the universe, right?
Man, words are powerful, man.
What kind of music he would be categorized in genre?
Pop? I think it'd be drill.
Drill, yeah.
That'd be drill music.
And what I've seen, like, in drill music culture, a lot of those rappers end up getting killed.
Dead, absolutely.
It's freaking crazy.
Absolutely.
But all that drill music is talking about is actually violence. Killing this person, did this, did the third, you know what I mean? Like, you listen to a lot of other rappers, right? You talk about the influence they do on people. Mm-hmm. How about what they speak into their own life?
Yeah.
You want to hear something crazy? That's one of the reasons, like, I stopped making, like, that type of music. I wasn't a drill rapper, first of all. I made more of trap. Mm-hmm. Which is a little bit differently. You talking about more hood stuff, but it was one time I was having a conversation with somebody and they heard a song and he was like, "Yo, I heard your song and I just want to go rob somebody," and I was like, "Oh," and then it's like I kind of laughed it off, but it gave me like, yo, I got kids watching me. I got, you know what I'm saying? I'm an influence now. Like, I gotta watch what I say because people are watching.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just, man. Words are powerful, man.
Not only for the listeners, but also for yourself, man. Because sometimes you call that you bring that to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you said about the power of words, and people underestimate that very, very much.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I feel like the things that you say to yourself and the things you speak out loud, you attract that in one way or another. Yep. Not necessarily right there and then, but if you keep saying it enough times,
bro.
You are just walking
Absolutely.
Right into it, man. Like, you talk about rappers that you can use as an example. Sometimes you can listen to Tupac, Biggie's album, Ready to Die. You could talk about Nipsey Hussle. There was many verses
if I die today, I make the set proud, nigga.
Like,
you know what I mean?
There's many parts in the verse, and you're like, yo,
crazy.
fam. He talks about, all these different things, scenarios, Juice WRLD, Mac Miller. Like, you can go on from rappers to non-rappers to people that have spoken certain things, and you just see that plays out in their life, and you say, wow. Then go into your life and look at your situation. What do you focus on the most? What do you speak on your life the most? And see if that's not what's currently going on or taking over your life, or something that's happened in the past and you said, yo, I was just scared of that happening, and it actually happened.
That's your primary thought. Like, your primary thought is what you're really going to attract and what you're going to see the most. Because if you're focusing on one thing, it's like focusing on a red car. You're going to see red cars everywhere because you're focusing on that.
Red car. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just like, you ever, for example, when let's say you bought your first car, that ever happened to y'all, and then once you got it, now you start seeing them everywhere.
You're like, yo, fam, I didn't know there was that much people out here.
Happens every time.
What's going on? Like,
my thing is, people get so used to thinking of the same thing that they forget that they're thinking of something negative and it becomes normal.
Yep.
Now you're just aware of something that is normal to you, and you're attracting that every day.
Bro, you ever listen, man? I remember having conversations that the first thing you heard who got shot, like. That was the normal conversation every day. Yo, I heard homie, you know, went and robbed such and such, and you're like, and then you start thinking about it. You're like, yo, I was having some bullshit conversation, because then your mind is just looking out for that, and you find yourself walking around looking behind your back, like, yo, and then you like, I remember hearing about shootouts and stuff like that, and anytime a car pulled up next to my car, yo, listen, dog. Foot on the gas, ready. I was like, yo, I see a window drop, hitting the dip. And it was just like, yo, like in my head, I'm thinking, yo, what? And then I'm going to tell you this, that awareness saved me one time in Newark. I remember having the red car in Newark, and we were riding around doing presentations. Yes.
You get carjacked in Newark.
I'm in a neighborhood, and we see some people drive, right? And I'm trying to put my GPS on. Mm-hmm. So I'm not looking up. I'm in the phone sitting down. And then my boy goes, yo, pull off. Because he's paying attention to that car. And he saw that they looked back and they did a U-turn. And then he sees the car coming up again. He says, yo, pull off. And he's not letting it. I'm like, yo, hold on. Yo, he just said, go. So I'm like, all right. I drive off. Make a sharp right. The car follows. Make another sharp right. Car follows. I'm like, yo, isn't it girls in the car? He said, no, bro, they had long dreads. And I'm like, oh, word? So now I'm like, all right, like, I'm not letting this car get near me. So I remember I popped a left, a right, a left, and the car did the same exact thing. Now, I'm not bullshitting you. At this time, I'm like, yo, if I don't shake these dudes off, it's a wrap. And then I said, and if I get in a car in a lane where there's 2 lanes, they can pull up next to me, I'm running the light.
Yeah,
it's funny now. But it's not funny when you're at the moment.
Let me tell you something. That moment I said, yo, AJ, I hope I don't hit 2 lanes. Turn 2 fucking lanes. Red light. And I see the fucking car coming up. And it's like, it's getting to the passengers, on the passenger side, but on the corner of the backseat is pulling up there. So it looks like it's going to clip my car. Yo, I hit the gas and ran that red light. Me and the person that was with me and my ex at the time, everybody I just seen them go like this. Hold on. And I'm out.
That's crazy.
I'm in the CLA, and I remember seeing that car literally do this. And turn back around and leave. It was a white Nissan.
So they was following.
They were following us, bro. I said, they were going to jack us. Mm-hmm. And in my head, they were going to shoot one of us, because that shit, it's 3 of us in the car. And there's 2 dudes. It's only 3. It was 3 dudes in the car.
So they had guns.
I was like, somebody was gonna hop out of the passenger seat. I mean, of the back seat from the side that they were pulling up on, and they were gonna come and tap the window or do whatever they were gonna do. But
that's crazy,
if my boy wasn't there and it was just me and my ex, nope, something might have happened. Yeah. But like him being who he is, awareness, and just coming from where we come from.
The energy you bring, though, you bring
that as well. That is why
good energy. So God was watching over you, bro.
But it's always important. I guess it's important to know where you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's good to always speak good, but you gotta know where you're at.
Yeah,
like, if you're in the place, you know what I mean. You feel like you're not supposed. You gotta keep your eyes.
You ever smoke a blunt and then like somebody says some bullshit like, yo, like what if we get robbed here, and you start looking around
you
like
start thinking about the whole thing.
You start saying, yo, I'm gonna actually go home right now.
I'll go home.
Listen,
you just
blew that.
You blew mine.
You just blew mine.
For some reason,
you spoke that into the universe. Now I'm paranoid.
For some reason, when I'm in the like Patterson, I'm all right. But if I'm in a place like Newark or a different hood, I'm under
Dog.
I'm alert.
We don't know.
I don't know where I'm at. I don't know.
Like
that's because we from the hood, so it's like we know like what to expect from it. And our own hood is like, it is what it is.
Because I got robbed one time. You remember that? When I got robbed on no dog, it was on Main Street.
Main Street, yeah, like, but the Arab there.
The Arabs, like I remember being outside, and the reason why I bring that story up is like you said, you don't know where you're at. And people know unfamiliar faces, the people that are from there, that are always around that area. So we're in an area where those people are normally there chilling. They see us, they start asking questions. And at that time, my head was all over the place because I'm trying to see where everybody's parking. I'm trying because we were there for a party. I think it was somebody's birthday.
Yeah, it was a hookah lounge.
Back in the day, after
That's
I was
when hookah lounges.
Paradise, right?
Yeah, that was when hookah lounges like were coming up. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Like that was the new.
And it was like every
Yeah.
night we was at every weekend we was at a hookah
party.
lounge,
That was
right?
party right
Yo,
there.
That was
Hookah
lit.
got like a 10-year run right now.
Well, I think it's getting hot in other countries because over here, well, yeah, it's
so.
no, it's still relevant.
it's
It's still
what
relevant,
you was
but
saying.
more
Yeah.
more girls and guys. Let's
Gotcha.
like, you know, whatever. But I have a chain. I have a Jesus piece, and it was pretty big. And I remember I was not supposed to wear. Yo,
She knows.
I had to do it. I'm
Definitely.
sorry.
that's what she said. No, but for real, like looking at the scenario. I didn't want to wear that chain that day, but I was late, and they were rushing me to pick me up outside, so I just ran, put my jacket on, never tucked my chain in, nothing. So I normally, when I'm going somewhere, I don't know where I'm going to be at, tuck it in, zip up.
And there's nothing wrong
all
with
that shit's out. Like,
There's
it was just me
nothing wrong
because
with that.
at that time, like, I'm not walking with anything, like, to defend myself, so I know what it is. But the dude walks up to me, and he's talking to me, but in my head, I'm just like, dog, I'm thinking he knows the other people with me because they're talking to them. So I'm just like, yo, nah, I'm not from that area you're asking me I'm from. And I look away, and then I just see him staring at me. And in my head, I glanced with the corner of my eye and said, what is he looking at? I'm thinking it's my phone. I'm like, yo, he's about to snatch my phone because I'm on the phone like this, and I have a foam cup. And when I put my phone down and look at him, I just see him go, and pull my chain. Now I had a weak link already on my chain, so it just slid right off.
Pop, yeah.
When I saw that shit pop, like I was just in belief. Like I'm like, did he just really do that shit?
Well, that was like he looked like he was an opportunist thief.
Yeah, like he was
He
looking
just
around
seeked
to
the
see what he
opportunity,
can
yeah.
get. And when he pulled, and I saw the alley that he was about to like run to, I looked at them and said, yo, he just took my fucking chain.
He wasn't even strapped.
Rafi was coming out of the car at that moment, and I said, yo, this motherfucker just took, and I was just like, I threw a cup at him. And I said, this shit ain't gonna do nothing. So I start running and shout out again because I feel nobody moving. And Rafi's like, what? So me and Rafi start running down an alleyway, not knowing what he has on him, not knowing if he could.
That's deep
like
right
we,
there.
and then we
That's
just start
dangerous
questioning
as
everybody.
hell.
Yo, who got it? Who got it? You know. And I start calling people, and I'm just like, yo, we're gonna run. But at that moment, I just realized that wherever I go, that's not something I'm familiar with, and if I know I'm in sketchy areas, hood areas, I gotta be aware, and I gotta, just look out for myself. We was straight out of high
young.
school. I was straight out of high school.
I didn't
I
give
don't
a
go
F.
nowhere no more. I don't go nowhere. I don't feel safe.
Nah,
I
but
just
back
won't
then
go.
though, especially
Back
like in
then, I'm
person, we was careless. We didn't give a
Bro,
F. That's why we
understand,
we could have
bro.
tased that guy down and
Fam.
he would have stopped. With
Not
a
only that, but
gun
that's
and that would've
but
been
that
action.
they
We didn't think about
all
that.
have pieces stashed around the area. Later found
Later
out
night,
later to find out that they were actually, there was some people in the corner that was affiliated with him, but they denied it. But those
Of course,
dudes
the people that were
could
talking
have
to
had
us-
some shit on them, and they could have just started going off on us.
Yeah.
Like
People that were talking to us, they were
definitely a
were
part of
with
it.
him.
But I'm just saying, like I've been in situations where it could have gone completely left because of not being aware
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
of being naive or actually just putting myself in those situations and bringing that shit to existence. Like being with the crowd that brings that shit to existence. Like, yo, tonight we gonna fight. You ever been with people that says, yo, we gonna fight tonight?
Yo.
What? Have I?
Like, you ever been in a situation
dejan en la
where
casa.
yo, I remember like going out and hearing that and saying, oh, so we going out to not get with girls, we gonna go fight. So we gonna get drunk and we gonna go fight. And in my head, I'm like, diablo, loco.
This ain't what came out of my
That's
And
not
mouth.
my type of
then you
shit.
don't want to be the dude to say, nah, just drop me off home. Like, you gonna go and be like, yeah, we're gonna get
I'm in
it.
the car already, man. It's what?
My
I bet.
clique
Guess
was
what
like
you doing?
that. My clique, they didn't even let us in parties. They knew the meat snake. Nah, y'all can't go in there. Y'all not allowed.
Yeah, y'all coming
They
for some
literally,
bullshit.
we wasn't letting loud in no party.
Yo, listen,
Like,
dog.
nah, they can't come in. Well, what you mean we can't come in? And then we'll fuck up the party.
Yeah. No,
We
listen.
coming in there.
I
But
went
I
to.
don't condone none of that, man.
Yo,
That was
listen.
the past, man.
Yeah, we young. We were young. We
We
didn't
was young.
care.
We was
This is
young.
story time. This is story time. Let's say, like,
It is.
I remember going to a spot. Now that we was some bullshit. Like, I went to a house party, dog, completely filled with the people that were against us. We walked inside that shit, walked into the middle of the dance floor, and we just had eyes from all the dudes on us. And then at that moment, I didn't know that it was like that particular party's, that group's party, until I started seeing the colors, and I said, in my head, I said, oh, and then the person I know I'm with, I know that his situation isn't good with them, so I said, nigga, they're gonna fuck us up, like, you know that, right? And he goes, nah, we good. And I just see him walk. He said, just follow me. We all start walking out. And I'm like, yo, why we just do that? Like, we're set up. Did you get an invite from a girl? Like, we're walking down, and then we hear some people like, yo, vamos pa abajo. And the minute I heard that, get in the car, skirt. And I'm like,
was it a setup though?
It had to be.
Honestly,
it sounds like one.
It's to me, it just sounded like these dudes were looking for a place, and that was the only party, and they just said, let's risk it, because nobody said who, what, like it was just like nah. We just wanted to check out the party. I'm like, why? Like, why put us in that situation? Like, dog, it's like back in the day we didn't care, dog. We just pulling up to places.
You have the heart of the freaking lion. Like, what? I can't swim, but I'm jumping in there type shit. Like,
I think it's just because we didn't have social media like that, so we didn't know about the crazy shit that was actually going on. We just knew
we heard it from the street.
We heard what was going around, but like, I don't know, bro.
Nah, we heard it. We knew. We knew it was
we just feel like it could happen to me. So I was always in the middle of everything.
We felt invincible. We felt like, yo, it ain't gonna happen.
I got robbed in my own hood.
Yo, we used to walk.
Literally.
I got robbed too.
I got robbed in my
jumped.
own hood, bro.
You got jumped? Yeah, I know you got
walking
jumped.
at 3 o'clock in the morning, when they go, what the fuck was I doing walking at 3 o'clock in the morning in the north side?
Yes.
Nigga? What the fuck am I doing there?
Now, let me tell you something.
We used to do a lot of walking all the time.
Before you tell your story, I'm gonna tell you something. Walking for me, after I hit 20, it was a dub.
Oh no, I remember walking after like 18. Esty, my boy, that was my ninja.
Yo, let me tell you, I remember walking through sketchy places that I think about today. And I'm like, what the fuck was that at 1 o'clock in the morning? Listen, at any time of the day. And then I was never alone, but just thinking about it.
I was alone sometimes.
I was like,
fam. Like nothing.
Yo, I know that because I remember one time Ralphie got drunk at a Dominican parade, right? He got super lit, and homie walks off. Just leaves by himself.
That was normal.
And then he comes back. He said, "Oh, I just fought." I'm like,
"Oh yeah,
what?" He goes, "Yeah." Somebody said you want to fight. I said, "Yeah." And we just start. And we just.
It was deeper than that, man. It was
it was not deeper than that, Rafi.
It wasn't because I wasn't drunk.
No, Rafi. I remember clearly the story. You know why? Because I laughed at that. I said, "Yo, he just challenged you to fight." You said, "Yeah." He was like,
"Yeah." I knew I had problems with that.
It's this, bro.
You want this? Let's go. Let's get cheeky.
But he was, I was wilding. I was wilding.
Yeah, like Esty would be one of the ones that be like, "Yo, we gonna fight today."
No, don't tell me that.
you just letting me know so I can stay home, like.
No, now it's like, don't tell me that, because now I'm rationalizing. Like, you really want to do this though? Is this really life right now? Like, let's think this through. You really
think about it.
I'm the talker now. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. But yo,
we went
completely. Yeah, we went
left.
No, we didn't go left. We just went to story mode.
But it was important to clarify, like, you know, that's why we would surround ourselves back in the days, like our friends, the music that we used to listen to, me and Fernando, D-Block all day, Dipset all day. Like, I used to go to school.
Same here.
I used to go to school listening to shit like that, getting riled up, and that's why I'd be probably getting some problems. Because it was like I was ready, like I'm over here listening to fighting music.
That was probably why I was having some
going
problems.
back to what we were talking about, that ties it up right there. Speaking it, that the power of tongue, the power of words. Music, see what he said? Music. Yeah. Music is powerful, man.
Yeah.
Music is super powerful. So it's like you gotta watch
It's why
yourself,
it influences people in doing
really
things.
Does.
It influences emotions.
It does. People underestimate the way the music influences you emotionally. Like, don't do that, because, you know, we're listening to all of this kill, murder type of music. But it's like, you gotta understand, like, oh, it's just music. No, it's not. I used to think it was just music.
Yeah,
but it brings you in the mood, though. It gets you in a certain
this is how you realize that. You ever been driving in your car and you listening to some aggressive music and you start grilling people for no reason, and you're just like, yo, like, if I had a gun right now, I'd wave it at somebody.
Yeah,
like,
sup. Like, somebody out this red light.
Listen, because I'm very impulsive like that. Like, I'm very impulsive. I'd be thinking, yo, if I had a gun right now, dog, I'd wave it at somebody. Like,
sup. What you be doing?
Good, dude. Like,
listen.
Because you'll see people driving you. When you're driving, you just see people looking at you, and they're looking in your car like they know you, and you're like, get ¿Qué fue?
Yo, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, I hate that shit.
But you gotta think
especially when they go like this, looking inside you, like you lost something in here, bro. Like, yo, I did. I just look at him.
No,
like,
let somebody do that. No, let somebody do that while you're listening to D Block.
That's it.
You're like, yo,
you gotta go right back. What's up?
Yeah, you're gonna give that energy right back.
Yo,
like
you gonna be wildin'. Like, literally.
And the listeners know because they listen to music. If you listen to R&B, you don't feel the same way when you listen to R&B than when you listen to like some trap music.
And you know how you know that? You know how you know that? Drive through the hood, listening to some soft music. You change that shit real quick. Like, nah, let me put some.
Or you put it down.
You put it down. You put it down. I change it. I put some
like,
fucking
this is a
Dipset. I
vibe.
put some shit. I'll be like, yo,
Man,
this one I'm listening to.
I was blasting some merengue earlier.
Yeah, we heard that. We heard that.
That shit was lit.
But that's the power. That's the power of words. We underestimate it. So don't underestimate the things that you listen to. Don't underestimate the things you say to yourself because. You know, we say things to ourselves. We call ourselves stupid sometimes. Like, oh, I'm retarded for doing that. Like,
The famous one, fuck my life.
Like, you fuck my... You don't say that.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
That gets me...
Definitely.
My girl does that shit, and I'm like, yo, you gotta stop saying that. Because that shit, you're calling that shit to attention.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro.
And it's like you little by little start believing. The more you say something, the more you start believing in it. So
it's just like people be like, oh, I'm crazy. You're crazy. You really start believing that you're fucking crazy.
It's all that, bro. Like, you speak out to, like, you be like, yo, I'm a dumbass, you know? So, you be like,
no, you're not.
Why you calling yourself
sound like
that?
one saying that.
Yourself,
Yeah. So
Right?
watch your tongue, man. It's mightier than you think. And,
Absolutely.
you know, watch what you listen to.
Absolutely. And then just like I learned to be able to listen to that music and not role play it.
Yeah.
Like there's people that go into music video mode, right? Yeah. Like I used to be the dude that says, "Yo, I'm driving, listen to this song," and I get low and I go like, "Yo, I'm in a music video right now."
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you start acting out. Yeah, like nah, man. And it's a powerful, and you know, never want to come off preachy, but just looking at everything that's been going on, and I remember Rafi saying, yo, all these things happening right now, there has to be a message, there has to be a reason why, there has to be an explanation, and there has to be teaching somebody something. Social media is powerful.
Yes.
What you're putting out there is very powerful. You know, be careful you're a target when you are successful. Yes. Let's be real. You're a target when you're successful. There's a crab in a barrel mentality. You know, the things you put out to the universe can come back to you. And you need to learn to just be aware of things.
Don't post live pictures. If you're at an event, if you're
post that tomorrow when you
post
out.
It tomorrow when you're not even there anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like play. You gotta play these people.
Privacy, man.
Privacy mode, man. Let them.
Privacy is
else.
important. Today, everybody wants to show everybody what they're doing, where they're at, everything. Like you want everybody to know everything, and that can backfire, especially when you have some goods that people want. And then look. There's not always just that. There's also envy. We talked about friends. We talked about on a prior episode of Sunday BYOB. There's a Judas in everybody's life.
Absolutely.
You know, and you gotta be careful with how you go about things and start checking your circle.
And so we're talking about that. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying just because the reports have been going out, it wasn't something just to rob them. Supposedly, it was something that could have been a target hit. So then, when you think about that, then you gotta think about who hates you like that. To want, like, you know what I mean? Like, who hates you to do something like that to you? You gotta be careful. Who's over here smiling in your face and shake, and then like behind their back, they wanna actually kill you.
And that goes back to again, BYOB, the last episode, people. You gotta tune in so you really get an understanding what we're talking about right now. And it's just overall, it was an amazing conversation. And we talked about, you know, the different levels when it comes to friendships. And sometimes you gotta let people go when it comes to a new level. Like some of his friends that probably didn't even belong there. You know what I mean? The same thing probably with Chinks. Who knows? The same thing probably with Stack Bundles. Who knows? I mean, and so I think with Chinks and Stack Bundles, they just didn't want to leave the hood. And sometimes you gotta leave the hood, especially
Lil
when
Snoop. You have to.
When you have,
MC died in his hood.
When you have the opportunity to be out of there, you don't come back because all it takes is one person, like Big Sean said, and the pull up.
You want to know something, bro?
Go ahead, my bad.
I forgot. Some people just hate how others love you. Some people can't fathom like the aura that you bring, that good energy that when you walk in, you could have a bummy outfit and everybody's on you, and you walk in fresh and everybody's like they're not even paying attention. People hate that. You know what I'm saying? They hate how others love you. You know what I mean? You gotta just be careful, man. Watch your surroundings, man.
there's one last thing that just clicked for me. Careful who you give access to your life. Because homie was not even in his hometown and still got that and still had that happen to him. So be careful who you allow in your circle, who you allow access to your information to know where you're at, you know, because you can leave the hood, but there's some people that can follow you out. If you are still allowing access to those people, some people be like, yo, I don't want to sound like a sellout. Well, guess what? When you're in a situation where you've won out of 80 out of a situation, there has to be another way where you can impact those people to come up with you, but it's not going to happen sometimes with you physically trying to pull one person one by one. I'm only
coming back for charity events. That's it.
Yeah,
and
like
that's
things
we got escorts and security and all that.
And there's other people that be like, yo,
I'm
I'm too hood for that whole security. I don't need security.
What was it that Jada Kid said? I ain't never met a nigga that's too live to die.
Yep.
Yes.
I ain't meet one yet. So it's like, come on, man, we gotta do better.
You know, it sucks because again we were just getting started to know Pop Smoke. All the other celebrities, all the people, just humans. Period, man.
Long live Ronnie, man. That's the situation that really bothered
that was
me
local.
too,
that was local from my ear.
Man,
just look. I said it when everything happened, even with Kobe. I said, yo, we gotta restart 2020, and I was like, yo, once February comes, it's a new 2020.
Then the coronavirus.
All this,
and then it's like, yo, 2020 is real.
Wow.
But it's I feel like something's beautiful gonna come out.
And I feel it too because as they said, it's always it crumbles before the beauty.
Before the beauty comes out. Something beautiful is gonna come out.
A lot of it. A lot good.
So let's keep that positivity up, people. Let's just keep looking forward for a brighter future because there's gonna be something coming out of all of this, man.
Absolutely.
Something good always comes out of tragedy. Tragedy.
Yeah. So that with that being said, for me, I just want to say, speak life. Stop speaking death into your life and other people's lives, man.
Let's get it.
And thank you for tuning into the Cause and Effect podcast. All those people in Dominican Republic, again, we salute you.
We pray for
y'all.
We're
with you.
Yeah.
And anything that we can do other than, sharing it on our platform, we will be tuning in and looking out for it. All those other people that are affected by tragedies, we're praying for you as well. Keep your head up. Like we said, something good is going to happen. Don't lose hope. So, let's get it, guys. Tune in next Monday.